guys, it's Naomi with Naomi's Tarot. I'm sorry this is late. I am doing the part 2 of the reading on Doria Ragland and her connection to Meghan Markle, and just the tarot cards on that and how she raised her, etc., etc. The mystery behind the Virgo lady. So as you know, she is Meghan's mother, and she is a Virgo. I did an astrology part 1 about that. If you want to check it out, I did it a few days ago on Sunday. So I'm going to do the part 2. So who is Doria and how did she raise Meghan? What was her philosophy with raising Meghan? Who is Doria and how did she raise Meghan? Past, present, and future. Okay, so past, present, future. Okay. So she's a woman who in the past, she made a lot of focus on giving her a stable home, her daughter a stable home, telling her about the importance of endings and new beginnings, that you take an ending and you make it into a positive new beginning, that you don't accept negativity and you change it into that metamorphosis of the butterfly. She's somebody who always taught that people are reinventing themselves, and you may seem sometimes like in life that you want to sigh and you just feel apathetic. But there's always a chance for when we have an ending, when we have the death card with the ending, there's always a chance for a new beginning with the butterfly. Currently, she is waiting on some kind of news from the Lord. I think this is news maybe having to do with Harry. I think it has to do with her moving. Either that or he's waiting on news. Waiting. The Lord is waiting on news, the letter to come in. In the future, I see that there is a loss coming. Widower is talking about a loss of some kind. It doesn't necessarily mean death. It just means a loss. I see her being a friend to her daughter and teaching her daughter to, follow tradition, try to follow the rules, try to follow what it is. Really use her head and follow what it is laid out for her as a guideline with the priest. Use her head, thought, to follow the guidelines, the priest. Being a friend to her after a loss. Widower talks about a loss of some kind. Now let's ask more about the woman herself, not just her daughter. So what type of person is she? I could say more about Virgos because I am a Virgo. She is, how I was saying, she's a woman unto herself. There's a lot of independence associated with Virgos because Virgos are symbolized in antiquity. If you talk about art in antiquity, old, myths and literature, what is originally, Virgo derives from the word virgin. Virgin actually originally did not mean sex. Originally, the word virgin just meant somebody who was independent unto themselves and didn't get married. It didn't necessarily have to do with waiting until marriage to have sex. It meant actually just not getting married. So the person could have been active, sexually active, but they didn't actually get married. So virgin talks about somebody who has a lot of independence. Now, Doria did get married before, but she still has that Virgo energy. It doesn't mean like Virgos don't get married. What it means is that there's a lot of independence associated with the sign. Virgin, the virgin goddess, Diana or Artemis in Greek myths, was changed into Diana in Roman myths. So we have a Diana Artemis archetype with Doria. She's always going to teach her daughter to be independent. And there is a quiet independence, determination, and also there's ruthlessness with Virgos. If you look at other Virgos, some other examples of this is Beyonce and Michael Jackson, both of which were perfectionists and workaholics in their music careers. I'm not really that big of a fan of Beyonce. I don't dislike her, but I'm not like a big fan of her. Michael Jackson, on the other hand, I always liked when I was younger. He allegedly, whatever they said he did, I don't believe he did it, but whatever they said he did, you can say what you want about that, but as far as their careers go, they are workaholics. And when they have a goal in mind, they are completely determined to carry that out from beginning till end. And perseverance is like the key word with a Virgo. So we have a very strong-willed, determined mother, but it's more of a quiet determination. Virgo is more of an introverted sign. Leo is more of an extroverted sign, but it's a similar energy of determination and needing to achieve and needing to follow something through from beginning to end and persevering with it. So we see that very much reflected in her daughter. That's why she also has like this quiet elegance. Also why she looks younger. Virgos tend to look younger for their age. But I would say that this is a very intelligent woman. And she doesn't reveal her plans to everybody. And she taught Meghan to be a little bit more quiet about what she's planning, what she's thinking. There's a reserved, secretive nature with Virgo, like similar to Scorpio in that way. Doesn't mean Virgos don't talk a lot. Virgos are ruled by Mercury. So they talk quite a lot when they are obsessed with a topic and comfortable with a person. But like I said, it's introversion. Introversion doesn't mean that somebody is shy. It just means they have a preference for speaking to smaller groups of people. It also doesn't mean that they only speak a little bit. People misinterpret the meaning of the word. It just means that they have a preference for spending more time alone and a preference for being one-on-one or two-on-one, not in a large group. So an introvert could actually talk quite a lot, but it will only be to a few select people because Virgo actually is ruled by Mercury, which is also rules Gemini, and both signs can be very talkative. Gemini is an extroverted communicator. Virgo is an introverted communicator. That's the difference. So tell us more about Doria. What type of woman is she? Okay, so this is Doria. This is what's on her mind. This is what she's not thinking of. This is what is behind her. This is what's in front of her. This is what's behind her. This is what's in front of her. Okay. So surrounding the situation is hope. She has a lot of hope for her life and her daughter's life. Doctor is talking about her always wanting to help people and be assistance to them. That's probably the mental health, social work aspect of it, since that's what she works as. Middle of the deck is good fortune. Probably the good fortune and good luck but was bestowed upon her daughter is also bestowed upon her. In her past, there was a loss of a friend. So this could talk about her ex-husband. It could be also somebody that she had dated or a friend of hers from her past that there was a loss of. It doesn't have to mean death. It just means loss out of your life. Currently, she's thinking about love and how she can give love, receive love, and all the ways she can express it in her life. She is a very loving person. On her mind is the journey she's going to go on to the UK. What she's not thinking of is being a wife. See, I said that independence, that Virgo independence. In front of her is a feeling of being trapped and sorrowful. The feeling of being trapped and sorrowful. Now, I'm not really sure why that is. Let's ask. Why is prison and sorrow in the future? There's a surprise coming up having to do with a marriage and a home. So there's a surprise coming up having to do with the stability of a home, bottom of the deck, a marriage with wedding, and surprise coming up. And it's going to cause sorrow and a feeling of entrapment with prison. And no, the prison card is not talking about her allegedly going there. I don't want to hear comments accusing this woman of having been there. If you cannot prove it and there's nothing written in stone that you can prove this with, please don't write comments about her going away to being incarcerated, because I'm sorry, I quite frankly don't think that's true. And even if it is, I don't want to, I'm not like gonna make claims on this channel about that. Okay, so that's not what that card means. They're not to be taken literally. They're tarot. It's not literal, it's symbolic. Okay, so what does that entrapment mean in the future with the sorrow? Can we clarify that again? Entrapment with sorrow, what does that mean? Okay, it has to do with the Lord. Has to do with somebody who said something but they didn't mean it. It has to do with work, and it has to do with pleasure seeking. Okay, so again, size, this is apathy. This is feeling like you thought something was going to be a certain way and it's not. Things are going to stay the same. They're not going to change that much. That's kind of how she would like things to be, at least to have some stability. Obviously, she knows her life is going to change because her daughter's life has changed. But what she wants is to maintain stability and constancy, things staying at an even pace. Somebody, some lord, some male in their life has not been honest because the thief card came out. That means deception and trying to take from somebody. Through pleasure seeking, having to do with work or money, merchant work or money, she has felt disappointed in. And it's going to cause sorrow in the future and a feeling of entrapment. That's what I have, guys. I'm sorry the reading wasn't too happy, but that's what I got. Like, comment, share, subscribe. Email me at naomitarot1199@gmail.com for private readings. I am free towards the end of next week for readings. I'm booked up until the middle of next week. So if you would like one, email me. And I also have prices down below for the regular pricing and emergency 24-hour readings as well. I am always available for the 24-hour readings, but the price is different. Entertainment purposes only. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.